Jim Caswell, you're our next speaker, and you'll be followed by Representative Bert Stevenson.
Thank you. My name is Jim Caswell, spelled C-A-S-W-E-L-L. Currently the administrator of the Office of Species Conservation for the state of Idaho. On behalf of the state of Idaho and Governor Otter, I'd like to welcome the Fish and Wildlife Service back here to Boise to receive additional testimony on the delisting of wolves and the proposed amendment to the 10J rule. We appreciate the work that has transpired since the service proposed delisting and strongly urge the service to remain committed to delisting the wolf in 2008. Idaho is encouraged that the service considers a Wyoming draft plan possible, and that plan, if adopted, will ensure that a viable population of wolves will be maintained in the state of Wyoming. For the past 5 years, Idaho's efforts have been focused on meeting the federal requirements for delisting. Idaho has a wolf management plan that has passed the rigors of a service-directed peer review process. We have 2+ years of practical experience managing wolves with service oversight and in conjunction with our partners in this effort, the Nez Perce Tribe. Currently, there are some 1,300 wolves, plus or minus, in the tri-state area, with approximately 86 breeding pair, nearly 3 times the minimum numeric recovery goal for breeding pairs and 4 times the minimum population goal. 3 state plans with adequate regulatory mechanisms if Wyoming's plan is ultimately approved. And again, I got to tell you that we need to keep our eye on this goal, and the goal is to delist. The sheer preponderance of wolves in the tri-state region allows for the flexibility to amend the 10J rule. We appreciate the service's efforts to accommodate concerns expressed by the state of Wyoming, dog owners, sportsmen, and recreationists. In 2005, the amendment to the 10J rule provided livestock owners greater flexibility in protecting their property, and this increased flexibility is appreciated. Since the promulgation of the 2005 amended 10J rule, 9 wolves have been taken in Idaho by landowners defending their property. When the 2005 rule was enacted, some who opposed stated, and I quote, "The new rule completely eliminates the general protection from the Endangered Species Act for wolves." Since that dire prediction was made, wolves have increased in number from 846 to some 1,300, an annual increase of some 24%. I'd ask the service to keep those numbers in mind as they review the mass mailings of postcards and emails you will receive on this issue. Given the robust health of the northern Rocky Mountain wolf population, it is appropriate to give these users the same flexibility already granted to livestock and other property owners. The service's opinion that this flexibility will not result in more than 1 or 2% impact on wolves is reasonable. Proposed change to the 10J rule gives these users a feeling of autonomy and demonstrates a responsive approach from the federal government. The second modification to the current rule will allow state wildlife managers the opportunity to consider all of the factors contributing to the fluctuations in big game populations when necessary. Idaho appreciates the service's recognition that today's wolf population allows greater flexibility than was feasible in years past. If the service meets its stated goal of delisting wolves in early 2008, it would be Idaho's intent to not consider using the flexibilities granted in this 10J change. In closing, Idaho appreciates the service's effort to delist the wolf and amend the 2005 Idaho 10J rule. Idaho will continue to prepare for the day it assumes full management responsibilities from the federal government, and Idaho is committed to
Thank you, Mr. Caswell.